This question comes from Michael Stevens. What if you couldn't sleep ever again? Let's say starting tonight, you simply stop sleeping. You lie in bed, waiting for drowsiness that never comes. Hours pass, you feel normal, maybe a bit restless, but sleep never arrives. The next night, same thing, and the next. At first, you're not worried. You think, maybe it's stress, or maybe too much caffeine, or maybe you're developing superpowers. You're not. Within 24 hours, your brain starts to behave differently. Your mood becomes unpredictable. You laugh at toothpaste commercials. You cry when you drop your phone. You're still functioning, but it's like your emotions have been hijacked by a toddler with a sugar high. By the second night, your coordination begins to falter. You drop keys, you miss steps, you open the fridge, and forget why. This is because your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thinking and decision-making, is starting to short circuit. It's like trying to run Windows 98 on a toaster. By day 3, you're technically still awake, but your brain has stopped caring. Your body is running on fumes. You can no longer focus on complex tasks like reading, holding a conversation, or figuring out why there's cereal in your shoes. You start to hallucinate. A little girl walks across your kitchen. You don't have a daughter or a kitchen because you live in a studio apartment. Welcome to acute sleep deprivation psychosis. By day 5, your immune system has taken a hit. You're now more vulnerable to infections, viruses, and general bad luck. You might start shaking. Your speech slurs. You think you're forming coherent sentences, but you sound like a malfunctioning GPS. People start avoiding you, not because they know what's happening, just because you've begun talking to pigeons and you haven't changed your socks in 4 days. And then, something strange happens. You stop caring. You're past panic, past fear. You're in a kind of floaty, cosmic acceptance. You see colors in the air. You hear music in the hum of your fridge. You believe you've unlocked some hidden level of consciousness. You haven't. You're just very, very broken. If you went to a doctor right now, they'd sedate you hard. But in this scenario, remember, you can't sleep ever again. No amount of medication, therapy, or head trauma will knock you out. You are cursed to remain awake forever. So what happens next? Let's look at a man named Randy Gardner. In 1964, he stayed awake for 11 days, the world record for voluntary sleep deprivation. On day 11, he was hallucinating, paranoid, and thought he was a famous football player. After the experiment, he recovered, but only because he was allowed to sleep. You don't have that option. After a week, your body enters survival mode. It starts shutting down non-essential systems. Digestion slows. Hormonal regulation collapses. Your blood pressure spikes. Your metabolism flips out. You feel hot, then cold, then hot again. You stop feeling hunger, but you keep eating because your brain can't remember if you just ate or just imagined eating. After 2 weeks, your brain begins to suffer long-term damage. Neural connections that normally get cleaned up during sleep begin to clutter and collapse. It's like a server room that hasn't been dusted in months. Only instead of a fire hazard, it's your memory, personality, and ability to understand sarcasm. You start forgetting your own name. You refer to yourself in the third person. Your friends stop calling. Your plants die. You think about giving a TED Talk called "Why Sleep is for Losers." By 1 month without sleep, you're a barely functioning biological meat suit. You're technically alive, but only because your body is too confused to die. You're like a zombie, but without the hunger for brains, or the charisma. Eventually, you reach a point where your brain decides to simulate sleep while you're awake. Microsleeps, tiny blackouts, begin to occur. Your eyes are open, but you're offline. You can drive through a red light and not remember it. You can start cooking and wake up to a fire. Your consciousness is now a suggestion, not a guarantee. So you isolate yourself. You move into a bunker. You get rid of anything flammable. You start recording yourself to fill in the blanks. You create a diary, like in a sci-fi movie. Day 74. I think I talked to the microwave today. It seemed polite. Can this go on forever? Probably not. The human body was not designed for permanent wakefulness. At some point, systems will start failing. Organ damage, brain lesions, cardiac arrest. The record for longest unintentional sleep deprivation in people with a rare genetic condition called fatal familial insomnia is a few months, and they all die, slowly. But hey, maybe you're different. Maybe you're the exception, the one human who can survive eternal wakefulness. You become a global phenomenon. Scientists poke you, journalists interview you, night show hosts make jokes about you. He's awake, he's alert, and he's still wearing yesterday's pants. Please welcome the Insomniac Man. You become a symbol, a myth, a warning, and then, one day, after 237 sleepless days, you blink, and when you open your eyes, the world has changed. The birds are silent. The sun is rising sideways. Your microwave isn't speaking to you anymore. And you realize you're dreaming, which means you finally fell asleep, which means you're dead. But hey, at least you finally got some rest. Thanks for staying awake.
What should we wonder about next? Comment your craziest what if, and maybe we'll bring it to life.